And here we are, and hopefully you've already logged into Xactimate. If you haven't, go ahead and log in. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. And what we're going to see when you first log in is, okay, so you should be logged in now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see, you'll notice, is we're taken to the dashboard. In this section here, we're going to go through the navigation of Xactimate. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I really want to dive into the meat and potatoes of the lessons. So we're going to go through the necessary features here that are located in the dashboard just to get us started. So let's go ahead and get into it. So you'll notice on the dashboard, it's broken down into 3 sections. The top section up here, we have the navigation. The next section down, we have the recent projects view. And then all the way at the bottom, we have the communications panel. So if we go up to the navigation bar, we're going to look at that first. You notice, again, it starts at the dashboard. If you move over to the right, you have your projects tab, and that's every claim that you've ever created, every claim you've ever accepted. Any claim you've ever handled is going to be found here. And this is including a search bar that is responsive. So as you start to type out a name, let's say we're looking for this Alan Nance claim, and you start typing, it's going to start filtering the results immediately. There's no reason to submit your search. It will automatically start filtering out and pulling up the results. Moving over to the next tab, and this is where all of our price lists are kept. And anytime you need to request a price list or delete price list, what have you, this is where it's done. So you can go to over here to the right, request price list. You're going to click that. You're going to put in your zip code and hit download, and that's going to bring in the new price list. So let's navigate back to the dashboard. So you're going to go up to Control Center, and again it defaults, your first tab is dashboard. So within this Control Center you have 4 different tabs. We're going to talk about the first 2. So we've already discussed the dashboard and what is included, and that's your home screen, you could call it. If we move to the right, this is your preferences. You may hear this whenever you get new claims from a new firm, where they'll ask you, have you set up your preferences, or here's the documents to set up your preferences, here's our recommended preferences, so on and so forth. And this is where that's done. And what this is essentially telling Xactimate what information you want to have pre-populated anytime a new claim is either imported or created. So for example, the project view defaults, let's say we want to have the price list default to the area that you're working. So if you're working a storm and you're in a general area, then this is very handy where you can set your price list to come in to that specific area every single time you open a claim. We're not going to dive in and do that in this claim, but if you ever hear the word preferences, this is where that's located. In your Control Center tab, preferences. So let's navigate back to the dashboard. And now we're going to take a look at this next section here, the recent projects section. All this is it's very similar to this projects tab up at the top, but these are projects that have had recent activity, whether you just imported them or you've made a change inside of them or had them opened. This is where these will show up. And again, you have this search bar up at the top. Now, one thing I do want to point out, so you'll notice here where it says add new project. Okay, if you start typing in the name, it'll start to pre-populate matches to what you're typing. Okay, and you notice now, because it has a match here, it says open existing project, because we do already have a file that's labeled West Burden. Okay, so let's say I'm looking for a West Green, or my claim is for a West Green, and I type this in. Now you can see it switch back to add new project, and so this is where you're going to create a new project. Okay, and this is the method we're going to use to create our test claim when we get ready to get to that step. And the last section I want to talk about on the dashboard is our communications panel. Now this is extremely important. This is where everything is submitted and received through XactAnalysis. Okay, think of this like an email server, but the only difference is that this is not constantly looking for new information, as where an email, when you send an email, it automatically sends it off immediately, and it is received immediately on the other end. This does not work that way. So the way this works is, if you, let's say you've been assigned some claims, they're sitting in the cloud. Okay, they are not on your desktop at this time. They're in the cloud. And the only way to retrieve those is if you go tell the communications panel to go look for new claims. Okay, and you do that by this connect button right here on the right. So once you hit connect, let's do it now. Once you hit connect, what it's going to do is it's telling Xactimate to go look in the cloud and see if there's anything that's been assigned to you. And you can see we have a couple here. Okay, and so now you see I have a 2 in my inbox. Okay, that means stuff was brought into Xactimate. So let's go ahead and click on inbox, and you see I have 2 claims here. We're going to highlight them, and you can either hit enter or hit accept. I always use the enter shortcut, and you can see it's populating them. And you'll notice now here they are in my recents because we just accepted them, and they're bold, meaning they have not been opened. Okay, and so this works the same with sending out claims. So once you're in a claim and you're completed with it, and we'll go over this in the very last lesson, but I want to touch base on it really quick. So once you're sending a claim and you have all your information and all your files ready to be sent off, they're going to sit in your outbox. Okay, they are not submitted until you hit connect. You do not have to hit connect for stuff to come in and out. Whenever you hit connect, it's going to do both. It's going to look for new stuff to come in, and it's going to send stuff out. Okay, it sends stuff out first and then looks for new information to come in. Okay, and so it doesn't matter if you're on your outbox or if you're on your inbox. As long as you hit connect, what it's doing is it's looking for new information, whether it be to send information or to bring back information. Okay, so that's it for the communications panel. There's one more thing that I want to touch on before we create our claim and dive into the next section, and that is this Xactimate tab up here in the top left. If you'll click this and go down to help, you'll see a link here that says 24/7 online support. This is going to be a huge value to you guys, because as you experience bugs within Xactimate, and you will, trust me, as you experience those, you can get on support 24/7 and get a live technician immediately to walk you through what's going on and how to fix it. And if they can't tell you how to fix it, they're going to get someone to remote into your computer and fix it for you. Okay, so that being said, they may ask you for a couple pieces of information. They may ask you for your key code, and they may ask you for your ExactNet address. And that is found 2 links down in the About Xactimate link. So if you click this, you'll notice you have your product key code here, and you have your ExactNet address here. So if anyone ever asks you for that, that is where it's found. Just go to Xactimate tab, go down to help, about. Okay, and again, your product key code is here, your ExactNet address is here. Okay, so I'm going to navigate back to the dashboard. Okay, so that does it for this first section. I know we went through that fast, but I really want to get into the meat and potatoes here and get going and creating our claim and getting that thing set up. If you need some more time and you need clarification on anything we touch base on in this first section, feel free to replay the video, go through it again, and just work on it. You know, practice makes perfect. And the more you use this, the more familiar you're going to get with where everything is located, and you'll be able to navigate a lot faster throughout this system. Okay, so again, if you need more clarification or you need more time, replay the video. If not, go ahead and go to the next section, and we'll see you in there.